Okay, what's going on? What's going on? Happy June 6th, 2022, or the 666 portal. Thank you, Spirit, for the divine, cosmic understanding and care and overall high vibration. I'm going to just kind of play around here and see what makes things look presentable, but it doesn't matter because it's really about the messages. It's not really about the quality of this experiment because it's really about what's naturally occurring. So this is what we've got, but I'm just so grateful to be here, and I'm just so grateful to connect. So my first intention is to breathe into the archetype, the Grail code, the energy of the moment here with Spirit, to let us be self-aware of the opportunities we've aligned ourselves to, regardless of our perception of our own duality. And just glory be to the Most High, because we've got a couple decks pre-pulled that I felt called to just have in my foreground. So we'll kind of see where things flow to. But oh my God, it's such a mess. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. Feminine, the Grail, and gratitude. So both came out in a reverse positioning. So let's see if there's any insight here. Wow. Okay. The Grail appears before you, and you are called to the quest. The Grail is the lost feminine, and the appearance of this card signals a shift in values and perspectives. The time has come to validate, celebrate, and sing the feminine. It is time to choose to focus on the right-brained or more feminine values of nurturing, relating, creating, spirituality, as opposed to the left-brained or more male-identified values of logic, analysis, and scientific proof. An important way the feminine will be restored to its rightful place of honor and equality is through women reclaiming the feminine themselves, then treating themselves and all that is embodied by the feminine with reverence. Since the outer world follows what is created on the inner planets, once women validate the feminine consciously in their thoughts and deeds, then the material world will follow suit. Spirit literally just now telling you that, like, your dream already is coming true. Like, you've already got the formula we talked about in the last video. Does your feminine self seem a mystery to you? Time to explore her. Are you locked into being the best man for the job in order to be competitive in the male-dominated workplace? Time to change. Do you live in your own personal wasteland, a life that is sterile and spare, depressing and discordant, unfulfilling and unfulfilled? Time to make the feminine a priority. I'm going to flip the page. In your life, are you tired of having your gender thrown in your face, being considered second best or of no value or use at all? Taught to keep your mouth shut because men don't like smart women, always having to prove yourself, forced into lower paying jobs or less important stature, kept outside and apart by the good old boys network from jobs stereotypically given to men, jobs that are well within your capability just because you are a woman. Time to take your power back by becoming a victim-free zone. Perhaps you are not sure what the feminine is and what meaning it could have for your life. Time for discovery. If you are a woman, the feminine is your place of power. If you are a man, it is the doorway into your spirituality. For both, a deeper connection and more attention are needed now to green and grow your life magnificently. Wow. And then right after it is gratitude. Gratitude showers its rays of healing energy on you. It is time to look around you and count your blessings. The way to creating richer and juicier abundance in your life lies in the degree of thankfulness you have for what already exists. Do you see why some of this is coming up in the reverse? Because right now there is this collective, like, purging that's catching up to this kind of, like, stank, unavailable, unattended to divine feminine. There's no receptivity. Therefore, because you are not receptive, you have nothing to be grateful for. Because nothing is coming. The cup is down. Are you keeping yourself on a daily diet of starvation rations because you don't have what you want? Do you feel at your core that no matter what you get, it always falls short? It is never enough and never what you feel you need? Perhaps you compare yourself with others and find yourself or your life wanting. Time to forgive yourself for what you have or have not created in your life. Love yourself for being the best you can be and consciously choose to live graciously and gratefully. I don't know why I feel like this is crashing into my dialogue, but in regards to that partner that you're really contemplating, you need to forgive yourself. If you know in your heart right now, without a shadow of a doubt, this is not the vision, like what you have physically in front of you is not the vision of what you really intended for, and say that it's okay that you were committing to something that wasn't actually the thing. Because it is way chiller to just decide that now and walk away than to actually keep walking down this unconscious path and end up in real trouble later, or just with way, way, way more like soul scarring for future lifetimes. Like, I just feel like it is so okay for you to look in the mirror and say, I want to love myself more, and I can recognize that this has not become what I had intended for it to become, and to normalize that stuff for yourself, and to make that a human process, because I think I've had to embody that so many different times, and I've had to really walk alone in that so many different times. And that's the only thing that I wish I would have heard, is that it happens to so many people. It happens to so many of us. We just never really feel the need to like articulate or check in at that point in our journey. So it just seems like this like constant chasing and never satisfied energy like is communicating something. You know what I mean? It's really with purpose. So just perhaps you compare yourself with others and find yourself and or your life wanting. Time to forgive yourself for what you have or have not created in your life. Love yourself for being the best you can be and consciously choose to live graciously and gratefully. And I think that's the difference, is just like when I started to really realize that maybe I haven't like found certain things in my life, or certain things that I feel like I've maybe had seen more movement in, and some people can really process that as like instability, but really it's just I've seen a lot of change and growth. So I think I'm just calling in a much more elevated expression of certain sectors of my life than what I was like originally just like on the path to experience. And so for me, I really had to just come to the point of saying, well, like, good for you, Alexis, for what you have and have not done. Because there are so many things that I had to walk in faith with that I really didn't know, again, on this sort of sainthood journey, that I didn't know, how they were really even going to directly benefit me with certain initiatives. So it's really special to get to this place of balance and gratitude either way. Because the things I didn't create also weren't aligned for me anyway. So when you have that, there's really nothing to be in discord about. So it says, take time to be truly grateful and wildly happy about one thing in your life. And I think this is also Spirit telling me, like, Alexis, you're going to get this thing, and because it's the formula of your life. And you're not allowing your divine feminine to to hydrate, to like drink, you know what I mean? Which would be you could be praising God right now if you just let your divine feminine tell you what it's about to be. Just believe what you're being revealed. Believe it, because that lack of praise is the whole reason for the delays. The lack of praise is the reason for the delays, bruv. The 666 reading, we're like locked in, and I felt the need to just like channel, because I can't go live, so but it won't matter. It really doesn't matter. These messages are living, so that's what we do. We create life, and I believe that my purpose is to do just that, but in as an extension of all things, that I contribute. So really needing to allow, like God is saying, your divine feminine needs to be able to like talk her shit for a second about what she's like, the gratitude. Let her wild out. Let her be grateful for what she called in. She sees it. She's getting what she wanted. She manifested and called this right on into herself. You know, so this is her moment, and this is all about how are you going to let her shine, you know? Expand that daily or weekly. Go over all that happens in your life before bed and give thanks for all that you have received. Quite literally, like for every single thing that you've received, because it's been quantum leaps. As much as I want to talk, like 2022 has, the movement alone has been something that I feel like I had been yearning for so long. So in those ways we can give thanks, you know. Let's see. No matter how delightful and or challenging it is, you will notice in time that by cultivating an attitude of gratitude, your life's garden will be filled with beauty, abundance, and a richness of soil that will bring you all that you will need. Is this the same page? Oh, that's the end of it. So, major key right here. The feminine, because there's a whole bunch of gendered language, but so not that was trying to be distracting. So to bring it back, the divine feminine needs to be able to live out the gratitude. But if you're disallowing, like your disbelief of the vision, what's happening, what you psychically see is about to come to you, is yet again you putting her in a box when she's the one driving the boat. Look who's at the bottom of the deck. That's the culprit. Does the divine masculine's conception of what's happening really even matter at a objectively group level? You know what I mean? This is the whole questioning of that. If it flips the divine feminine upside down and the glory and the praise that comes with just being in that space, do we want to be observing that? You know, we have all these questions. So we're going to ask the angels. I just saw 1212, which is so wonderful because it's very Wheel of Fortune cycle energy. So yeah, you know, I don't really feel the need to shuffle these, but we can. Yeah, that was a beautiful message. Digestion time. Blend, you know. What? There it is. Wow. The angel of being. I was just saying today, I feel like I'm tapping into the just like, guess what, Alexis? You're still expected to just be in this moment. You know what I mean? My soul rests in the truth that my being is eternal. That's the thing that we've mastered. This is the overall energy. This is the angelic energy that we've channeled, which is like, I know that you couldn't kill my energy off. Like, no matter how sharp the ending or how much energy it took from me, I am eternal. This part of me will never die out. And that's the reason I was able to stand back up and like meet this new challenge. I feel like a lot of us feel that way. It was like just the fact that I got back up alone and tried again with everything in me shows how much like this is the truth, because I should have, it was 10 of Swords, you know, I should have been out for the count. We can read it. We can. I feel like it's, yeah. You know when you're like looking for something and it's like, of course it's like way closer to you. Okay. So the angel of being is depicted as the universal symbol of the self, the mandala. The two chalices encompass both the spiritual and the earthly energy of humanity. The man and woman shown below represent wholeness and individuation. The eye at the top is the symbol of heaven, paradise. Sorry, that's kind of shady. Okay. So the gifts for the earth is that it can help you touch the depth of your being. Be as a co-creator of the universe. Expand your personal sense of well-being, right? And when you acknowledge that no matter what death cycle presents itself, you're going to reincarnate. Your energy can never be destroyed. As long as you have that level of fearlessness, you are going to have access to these really, really deep Akashic instructions on yourself, on your ways of being, on like what's coming for you. And you'll be able to start using these gifts and develop these gifts to navigate the world in a more updated way. You know what I mean? You'll feel like a co-creator in your universe, and you'll expand your personal sense of well-being. Like, I feel like one of the gifts that I really went for, like, I feel like maybe it's I don't even really know if I acutely fear the success of it or anything. Maybe I'm actually just really ready, but I don't know. You know, my attention to the thing is probably my direct delight of it, but I just feel like I know that I was gifted something that is going to expand my personal sense of well-being. And that to me is kind of priceless, because when I'm operating at that level of functionality as a human, what can't I do? You know what I mean? You know, it doesn't even really matter what it is. You're going to just be doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I don't know if that's... Anywho, the angel of being blesses us for being mirrors of God's love. Okay, this is literally a gift that came out of the sky for you, because you literally mirror God's love. On 666, you're going to see a representation of the mirror that you are of God's love. It helps transform reality into a vision for ourselves in which we feel loved and supported, which can feel destructive, because if you're not living in love and support, when God comes up in there and says it's time for you to make this motherfucking house a dwelling for God, for source energy, you're going to straighten it up. It illuminates our awareness, there's that awareness again, that we are a vital part of the creation. You matter in that way. Because you're a vital part of the whole picture. If enough of you don't think that you even matter, so then there's just no awareness of yourself, well, good grief. Look at what the whole picture is going to look like. Because we exist as a part of the creation, not separate from it, right? That's why when we pass judgments on others, or we look externally of ourselves for what's next or what our source should be, we see the brunt of that. Because what you're seeking, you can find within yourself in your internal temple, but you're thinking you're separate from creativity. From these are the people, like, if you feel that way, like if you feel like you're giving tips on how to inorganically connect to creativity, you cannot be divorced from these processes. So really be weary of leaders that are trying to like help you connect the dots for your creativity. Like, that's not medicine you need. You know what I mean? We should just be promoting the well-being and the security that people can start to really heal and work through, and have the time to like actually observe their own habitual patterns and behaviors and responses, so that in enough time, that after enough reflection, change is likely to be guaranteed, because they will continue to be changing. Their needs will be different. Like, their habits will lead to certain outcomes anyways, and changes anyways, inevitably. So whether you're living a healthy, fast-paced life, or a slow life where you don't really move from the couch, or whether you're, you know, someone who works in construction, or whether you're someone who's like in a nursing home, like, it doesn't really matter what's going on, right? But we are entitled to love, respect, and prosperity, and that's the thing that we fight for. That's the energy of love right now, and that's why it's so important to like get after these energies that try to sell you back like something that you're entitled to. You know, we're entitled to so little, but we are certainly really, really and truly entitled to love, respect, and prosperity. That's 100%. The angel of being encourages us to know ourselves and to understand that we are at core aspects of the source. This angel gives us assistance to create a simple and fulfilling way of life for ourselves. And that's exactly what I feel like I've orchestrated, what I've called in, which is an actual simple life that is actually fulfilling. Like, because it really, like, yes, it could be all the things, and it could be elaborate, it could be dense, and it could be exhausting, but it could also be restorative and grounding and slow and savory, you know what I mean? And I can just engage with what it is, because as long as all the like components that are assembled are of my liking, what is the difference really? Oh, everything, you know, it's the difference between how many moments you get to catch with someone. Time for reflection is so essential in what I believe in and what I want others to promote in others. Like, I want time for reflection because I guarantee most people, after saying something unconsciously to their kid or to their spouse or to their boss or to a stranger or to a customer or, you know, whatever it is, like, you could be transmitting so much that you're unaware of, and we just want to really take accountability and reclaim that that part of ourselves. It says, when we choose joy, love, and health, we move towards being co-creators of the universe, right? And so for all of you who might have been heckling people who were really trying to commit to joy, love, and health in the very recent past, well, the joke is just now on you, because that was the gag. That was the point. That was the assignment, was to get on getting healthy, get on getting on track. Why not use a time when the world just gets to go to sleep for a little bit and reflect on all the lives, all the lifetimes, synthesize the information, put it together, and decide upon what are we going to do? Who are we going to be? We got that. We just got that 2121. You've got, because by naturally doing that, we are now moving towards being co-creators of the universe. So if you were confused about why I'm doing it, that's why I'm doing it. Because I want to be a co-creator of the universe. The angel of being affirms our vision and blesses it. Hello, I'm over here talking to myself about my own fears, because the angel of being is like, I affirm what you want, Alexis, and I am blessing it to happen. Thank you, Spirit. Like, I really received that, because there's something in me that wants this moment for myself where truly, like, you become exactly what you always said and knew you would become. That's the biggest flex, is the psychic shit. It's the biggest flex. Being able to be 8 years old and know exactly, like, what it's gonna be for you. That's the real currency, you know? That's how you separate 2222 fake money from real money, you know? Being what you said you would be, that's value. Because it's rooted in self-awareness. It's rooted in your self-awareness about who you are. That's why nobody can knock it. That's why nobody can touch it. That's why when you activate this tier of God consciousness, oh my God, it's just like, oh yeah, the angel being is like, no, it's lit. You're blessed. Like, we love it. It helps us to create our lives using all the ability we have to draw the good and joyful to us. This is that reaching for the light continually. You don't ever stop. A plant can't ever stop reaching for the light. That's the whole mission. You know? And I want that to be my fuel. I want to be consuming a certain level of light. So that I can draw in the good and joyful to me. That's what I've been working with. That's why this channel has changed so much. That's why it's so much. We may not see our lives as being particularly creative, yet every negative or positive thought we have draws our experience to us. So here we are, right? Be careful of being sold back that same truth. You don't think you're creative, yet you're creating something. With every thought, an ideal. The angel of being is constantly working through our subconscious mind to help us make our reality serve our highest good and greatest joy. This is the one who's like really helping us establish all of this. The angel of being teaches us about self-acceptance and self-love. It helps us to know our own goodness and the sweetness of our inner nature. And man, I really needed this affirmation. I really needed this comfort today. You know, because some days it's not easy. Some days it doesn't always feel like the best to just try to keep pumping yourself up, you know, telling yourself like you're doing it, you're living it, you're being it right now. Like, it's, yeah, I get, we can have a lot of excuses as to why we don't take the time to like process what we need, you know. It means opening our hearts to the vision of what we truly want ourselves to be, an angel in a physical body. And that's the truth. Mask off. My goal in this life is to be an angel in the physical body. We can pray to the angel of being to help us find the courage to enjoy being ourselves. We ask it to help us sort out the magnificence of our essential being from the superficial trappings of the material world. We need to know we are not the car we drive, not the house we live in, the clothes we wear, nor the partner we sleep with. Our worth is not dependent on any of those things. We are worthy simply because we exist. And by gosh, what a beautiful truth to be regrounded in this moment, because I started this whole experiment for myself to tell myself that I was worthy to do this whenever I felt like I wanted to, wherever I felt like I wanted to, because I just can, because I just am, not for any other reason. I really want to understand the magnificence of my essential being and less of that superficial trappings of the material world. You know what I mean? Like, because we just get so left to the point every time we go down that route. You know what I mean? We need to know we are not the car we drive. Like, even the people who have the most are the people who still understand that even that, they know they are none of those things. They know that they are the thing producing all of those things. We are worthy simply because we exist. And I think that everybody in this journey, that's, if you see this, you are so worthy just because you literally exist. And I know you probably think that about yourself every day, but we are a unique expression of being existing beyond the ego identifications of money, jobs, sex, race, or age. True being is a oneness with the loving and creative spirit within us. May the angel of being help us unite with our true selves, right? That's my spell for the 666 portal, right? Please unite us, yin and yang, with our true self, which will reverberate in your partnerships. That's the spell that we speak over today, because ultimately, you don't even have to attach to the desire. You attach to your God self, and your God self will assemble all of your highest desires. You don't even have to know what your desires are. You don't even ever have to identify that. You just have to seek your highest expression, and there will be only ease, only flow, no blockage. You know what I mean? So it's a pretty special space, and we're just going to go ahead and pause the video here. I'm going to go pee and get more comfortable, and we're going to give a different message on the way back, but keep that thought. Thanks.